Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. This time we're taking a look at the 1995 Nissan Silvia Qs. This is another Silvia, one of many Silvias in the game. We've had the 200SX equivalent of this vehicle go around the track and it did pretty well. So now we're going to try out the regular one. This is the Qs, which means it's the non-turbocharged one, I think. Comes in this rather nice looking sort of gasoline green colour, so that's good. Unfortunately everything else about it is not so good. Front engine rear wheel drive, 356 horsepower, 1085 kilos, pretty average statistics for a rear wheel drive car. And as we know, rear wheel drive cars are a bit of a mixed bag around here, so interesting to see how this one gets along. It's going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track in order to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Ford GT90, a 28.190. Still need to get used to trying to say the times again after not seeing the time for about 3 months. This is unlikely to beat that. This is, so we've had the 200SX, which went round at a 30.889, and we had the slightly newer turbocharged aero version, a 31.848, although admittedly that was very early on in this series. Actually, this does have a turbocharger. Maybe this was naturally aspirated before, I can't remember what the difference is. I know I'm probably going to get slaughtered in the comments for not remembering my Qs and my Ks and my SXs, but here we are. In case you're wondering, this is one of the cars that would have been regionalised if this was the PAL or the North American release, so this would have been regionalised into something like the 240SXQs or the 200SXQs, even though it's neither of those, it's just the regular Silvia Qs. The car from LA Rush, basically, is how I remember the S14. I can't remember if the one in that game was a K's or a Q's, or if it even mattered. It might have actually just been a regular 240, come to think of it. It came in that sort of dark blue colour. It's a cool car. Well, it was cool for, you know, LA Rush. I'm not a huge S14 person, you know, I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's my least favourite model of Silvia. Namely because every time I look at an S14 I get flashbacks to being in the sort of Forza world between about 2013 and I think it was 2018 the car finally came to Forza Horizon 3. And during that time people were clamouring for this thing and saying how much of an injustice that it wasn't in the game, and it's like, well, I'm not being funny, this has basically the same engine as an S13. Someone gets very angry about that. Or is it? No, I don't think it. Maybe it. Yeah, S13's lighter, S15's more powerful. So why do you need the one that's in between? It doesn't look as good as an S13 or an S15. It just doesn't do anything for me. I like the boss kit in the Horizon games, though. The ones that sort of made it look like a weird cyberpunk-esque Camaro. That was quite cool. But yeah, other than that, not a lot of nice things to say about the S14, other than the colour of this one, which is basically why it's here, because it came in a lovely colour. And also because I do eventually need to do all the Silvias, so try and keep on top of the Silvias, because they do creep up on you. I didn't even speak about how this drives. Drifty, in case you can't tell. A little bit drifty. I probably could have gone a little bit quicker there, but what are you gonna do? 31.255 certainly isn't bad though. Yeah, the time's all over the place. There's 0.2 in there. Realistically, is it better than the 200SX? I don't really remember driving the 200SX, so I don't know. Yeah. What was it? 31? I'm all over the place on this. 31.255. Puts it into 65th place. Beats out the RX-7 Touring X with its 4-speed gearbox. Beats the Tom Super out because that's uncontrollable. It is about 0.4 off of the 200SX, but as we discussed, that gap probably could have been smaller if you can get it to behave itself, which is very difficult because it's quite drifty. So yeah, there you go. Another Silvia in the bag. Thank you all very much for watching, and join us next time when I'll be driving something completely different. Until then, farewell.